It is October the 3rd, 2019. We are back at Lake Monticello for another update on the draining of Lake Monticello. As you can tell by looking, it's not much more than a big pond now. Pretty much all of the water is out of the creeks. You can see back in there, just right about the mouth of the creeks there's got a little water in them, but probably not very deep at all. From what we understand, we've done a little research since our last video, and from what we understand, they think that the lake, without any major rainfall, it should be pretty much as low as it's going to get by the end of October. We are definitely going to have a long road back for sure. Just wanted to come up and take some shots off the levee here. We'll probably take another shot over around the boat ramp area, and then when we get back to the office, we will talk about a few of the things I've learned in the last 2 or 3 days. So got some pretty interesting things. So anyway, y'all stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Okay, this is kind of what we know at this point. I've done a little research the last 2 or 3 days. I spoke with Ashley Foreman with the City of Monticello. I also spoke with Chris Knott with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. And I asked a few questions. They volunteered some things, and this is kind of what I came up with. I used some of it I didn't. But anyway, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If I don't know what it is, I'll ask one of these guys or somebody else, and we'll get to the bottom of it and find out what you want to know. A lot of this stuff is still in the planning stages, so there's a lot of questions that I asked that there really wasn't an answer for, and a lot of that it's in the planning stages, so that's part of the problem. Anyway, just some things that we know right now. I made some notes, so I'll be looking down at them, that kind of thing. I can't remember all the stuff off the top of my head. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, the lake should be completely down by October 31st, and that's barring any kind of, torrential rains or anything like that. The company that was chosen to fix the levee, they're still trying to figure out what's wrong with the levee and what they're going to do to fix it. So that's in the planning stages as well. Hopefully they'll get that under control pretty quickly. As far as lake improvements that Game and Fish is wanting to do while it's down, that's going to consist of building some brush piles, putting some gravel in some of the spawning areas, maybe cutting some boating lanes, as well as killing the remaining fish that will be in what standing water is there. You're still going to have some water in some creek channels, and when the lake was built, the hole out there near the box was somewhere between 55 and 60 feet deep. So you're still going to have some water there, I feel sure. So they'll come through and rote on and kill all the remaining fish. There's a lot of undesirable fish, your grass carp, some of the white bass, and yeah, there's still going to be some blacks in there, I'm sure. So, that's unfortunate, but I'm sure that's what's going to happen. All of that stuff is going to be done in the summer of 2020. So just because they're draining it right now does not mean they're going to go in there and start putting gravel in right now and fill the lake back up and it's going to be good in a year or two. It's not going to work that way. It's a long process. So probably best case scenario, the lake gets plugged off late next year in 2020. That's a best case scenario. Then they'll start restocking the lake. They'll start building the forage up, which is your shad, your brims, things like that. They'll have to have several spawns there. I'm not really sure how many times a year they spawn and all of that kind of thing. Maybe we can get to the bottom of that maybe the next time I talk to them. But anyway, that's going to have to be done before they ever start putting bass in, and the other predators as well, your catfish and all that kind of stuff. One of the things I asked too was, I remember when they built the lake back in the 90s, there are several ponds in the lake, and from what I understand, they had put brood fish in those ponds, and those ponds had really been kind of used as nursery ponds. And then when the lake filled up, it took in the ponds, and they stocked it too, and it all kind of worked out. And if you guys remember, when they opened that lake up, it was unreal fishing. I mean, it was just crazy, and that's what a lot of people remember. It was catch and release only there for, I don't know, several years it seems like. And anyway, I asked about all of that stuff too. A lot of that stuff is still in the planning stages. Also, as far as the habitat improvement stuff like that, a lot of that stuff has not been funded yet. So that could change. They could do a little bit more, they could do a little bit less. But like I said, I was told that the funding is not really there, and that may be part of the reason why they're waiting until 2020 to start on some of this stuff. It just may not be in the budget for 19. Anyway, that's kind of what I know about it right now. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, let me know. I'm going to be in contact with both the city and the Game and Fish Commission on and off over the next few weeks, months, however long it takes. If you got questions, let me know. I'll ask them. If I know, I'll let you know. And, you know, it's just going to be a long road. And these videos are probably going to get a little farther in between because once the lake gets down, you know, as far as it goes, there's not going to be much done this winter. And while we may get out there and hike around and walk around and mess around out there a little bit, and we'll probably video some of that. But for the most part, we're not going to know anything of any substance probably over the next few months. So there might be one or two more of these videos here soon, and it might be a while before we do any more. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching my videos, all of them. I've got a whole series of this thing. I think this is the 6th one of these I've done as far as the draining of Lake Monticello. So if you hadn't watched them, go back and watch them. Like I said before, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. You can share the content. Also, y'all stay tuned. I'll have some still shots right there at the end like I've been doing. Appreciate you guys watching my video. I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Bam.